psychic and life coach. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up and I'll see if I can actually see it. Good morning, good morning. If you can hear me, if you can see me, give me a thumbs up and I'll see if I can see it. Actually, type in a comment. Let me know if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, because I'm trying to simulcast between the two. Ran into a little bit of a technical issue with that. Okay, yes, we did it. All right, we're on live. All right, thanks everybody. Good morning from Barbados. I'm Jamila White, international psychic and life coach. Today we're going to be talking about love, dating, relationships, marriage, soulmates, intuition, spirit guides, and how all of those work together. If you would do me a favor, since we had to start the broadcast over and that creates a new link, if you would click the share button, especially if you're on Facebook, so that will let people know that the location, the link has moved. If you could hit that for me, that would be great. Also, let me know where you are connecting from. I see the Facebook people are here. I see the YouTube people are here. Awesome. Let me know, type in what city, state, or country you are connecting from. It's always exciting to see who's here. Oh, wow, I see. Okay, Janai and Eugene and Dean, and Danae and Jennifer, Raven and Vivian and Erica. Thank you guys for connecting. We're going to have a really great discussion. I'm also going to be later in the broadcast, I'm going to be taking live questions. I'm also going to be taking doing live readings with folks in the audience. So maybe if you have a relationship question, we're going to be able to answer that. Me and you and your angels and spirit guides and mine. Katie's in Louisville, Kentucky, and Christy's in Nebraska. Erica's in New Jersey. All right. Teresa's in Wilmington. Now, for some reason, I can't move my mouse. All right, there we go. Gabby is in Maryland. Tamnisha is it? Wait, you in Texas now? Wait, we got to catch up. You're in Texas? And Sabrina's in Texas. Zoraida, hi. Vivian says she's in Baltimore. Alicia's in Atlanta. Rosie's in California. Oh, this is awesome. Don't forget to hit the share button so people know that you're here and they can join in on the discussion. Akeisha says Alexandria and happy Valentine's Day. And that's right, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I also want to give a special shout out to my dad and stepmom, Dad and Lorraine. Happy anniversary. They got married, 1983. I think long time. So they've been married a very long time. I want to wish them a happy birthday, a happy anniversary. Veronica's in College Park, Maryland, and Christy's in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. Selena is in Atlanta. Good morning, Ahene. Good morning, Kitty Russell in Arlington. It's so good to see you guys. Nina's in the UK, and Lana Joe is in Maryland. Shaka's in North Carolina. Mary Kay is in New Jersey. Carol is in Indiana. Valerie in South Carolina. All over the place. What's up, Asha in Chicago and Amy in Buffalo? I'm so happy to see you guys. So we're going to get started. I want to talk about a couple things. I'm going to ask that you hold your reading questions for a minute. And shout out to Sarah in the UK. Hold your reading questions, but if you have relationship questions, intuition questions, you can go ahead and post those. I want to talk to you about something that was really on my mind and on my heart to discuss. It's about, we're going to cut right to the chase. It's about ways that intuition, your inner guidance, your still small voice, your God voice inside of you, the way that intuition gets sabotaged in relationships. So I do private consultations, intuitive consultations for all kinds of people. And everyone has the same questions when they come to me. It's what's going on in my love life? How does this person feel about me? It's about, is this person cheating? When will I meet my soulmate? When am I going to get a boyfriend? All of those kind of questions, right? And it doesn't matter if the person is rich or poor, famous or not famous. Everybody has these same questions, these same kind of relationship questions. So we're going to be talking about that because when when your heart feels out of balance, it's real easy for everything else to feel out of balance as well, right? Something's going on with my necklace. I'm trying to fix it. Okay, it says love in honor of Valentine's Day, right? So it's funny because when I'm looking in the camera, it's the mirror opposite, so I can't tell my right from my left, which is why it takes me so long to fix things. Hey, Marissa in Buffalo, and Christy in Oklahoma, and Nicole in Clearwater, Florida. Thanks for joining me, you guys. Don't forget to hit the share button, let people know that you're here. So I want to talk about ways that we sabotage our intuition and ways that sometimes our partners can sabotage our intuition. Okay. Let me put something else here on the screen. Okay. Intuition, sabotage. Right. So one of the things that happens is, have you guys heard of gaslighting? Gaslighting is when someone challenges you. It's not just that they disagree with you, but they try to make you think that you're crazy, or they try to make you think that you have totally imagined something and that it's not real, or they try to make you think that you are completely overreacting to something that is actually big, and they're trying to minimize that. And so basically, as a way of protecting their image and protecting their ego and protecting their control within this relationship dynamic, they will have you to think that what you saw, what you heard, what you experienced directly is not true. And they start to make you question your sanity. Now, if someone does this one time, sometimes we see that and it's, we're like, yeah, no, I know what I know. I said what I said. I saw what I saw. But when this happens repeatedly over time, and this is a form of emotional manipulation and abuse, you start to question, or you can start to question, did I really see that? Maybe I am overreacting. Oh, well, that must not have actually happened. And then we start to not just not trust what we experienced and what we saw, what we heard, but the first thing to go is when we don't trust ourselves, that something's not right. The other person would have you thinking, and this isn't always about cheating. Sometimes this is just about relationship integrity and honoring your experience. They will have you think that you're crazy. They will try to make you think and gradually start chipping away at your sense of self, gradually start chipping away at your self-esteem, gradually start chipping away at your ability to trust what is true for you. And the reason why this is so important, and the reason why I'm discussing this, and aside from the fact that I woke up so strongly the other day, like somebody needs to hear this, is because this isn't just about that relationship. When someone does this to you and you then begin to question your own judgment and your own intuition, that can last for months, for years, for decades, beyond the actual relationship. Even if the relationship is gone, you no longer trust yourself, and it is incredibly, incredibly damaging. So it can make you then think that, oh, I must be overreacting. Oh, that's not true. And then you don't even trust your ability to choose well. So you encounter someone who is toxic, and they will tell you, oh, you won't give me a chance. Oh, they'll usually give you a sob story. This is also, related to some narcissistic characteristics. But then they'll have you thinking that, oh, maybe I'm jumping to too many conclusions, and oh, maybe I'm overreacting, or maybe I just don't trust anyone. And they will try to convince you. And so what happens is you begin to replace your own intuition and your own good judgment with theirs. And that does not serve you. It ends up serving them and whatever needs. And not everyone who actually does this is a mean person. Not everyone that does that is intending to harm you. They may not even be aware that this is the dynamic that they're creating and participating in with your permission. By you participating in it, you're giving your permission for this to continue. So as a result, you don't trust anything. And then the next time you get into a situation and someone is not operating in a way that has integrity, that honors you, the old tape that you've got going, this tape looped in your head that the other person helped you create is now playing, and the other person doesn't even have to be in your life for you to now be still questioning yourself. So this is incredibly, incredibly damaging. I'm sharing this with you because I had an experience in, well, more than one, in my early dating life, in my early 20s, and even in my late teens, where someone made me question what I actually saw with my own eyes, like physically saw. And they basically like, yeah, that didn't happen. And because I didn't yet know who I was, and I trusted this person, and I wanted so bad for this to work, and I wanted so much for them to like me and love me, that I began to wonder, well, maybe it didn't happen that way. Maybe I saw it differently. Maybe I didn't see it at all. And that was the beginning of the undoing of my own intuition in relationships. So yeah, I was intuitive back then, but the place I think that we collectively as human beings mistrust our intuition the most is related to intuition. Now I'm going to pause right here. So I'm going to ask all of my alert Facebook audience here that if you see trolls, and these are not even real people, they're usually just automated bots, start to solicit readings and talk about their magical powers in the comment section, please report that to Facebook and then block, delete. Enough people report it, they will be booted off of Facebook. I will go back in later and clean up the comment section, but while I'm talking to you, I want to be really present to talking to you. So if you see it, go ahead and do that, okay? Especially if they're talking about, inbox me for this spell and all this other stuff. Go ahead and report them. All right, so back to the question about that gaslighting. And this isn't only in romantic relationships. You can have friends do this. You can have colleagues, bosses do this. You can have parents who did this as you were growing up and make you think that you can't trust your own knowing of what you know, what you experience, and what you do. So it's Katya says, yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, thank you for that. So Teresa says, I'm just going to pause here and take a couple comments. Teresa says, I grew up with this, which would explain why all of my relationships then were with narcissists or abusers. I always doubted my intuition. Thank you for explaining this. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people talking about this when we talk about dating and relationships, or it's not being talked about enough. I want people to recognize this, not just when it's happened, but when it was in the past, because it still may be affecting you where you just don't trust yourself. And then what happens after you get into a couple of these situations, you now no longer even trust yourself to choose partners well. And then you think everyone is bad or everyone is trustworthy or all men are dogs or all women are gold diggers. And that's because now you're not trusting yourself and not trusting spirit to help bring you a healthy relationship with someone who respects and values you. So Jeannie says, oh my God, I've been in a relationship with a narcissist for a year, dealing with gaslighting now, and it's been so hard dealing with it. Yeah, I can relate. And I want to just send you a big hug because I know what that's like. Yeah. So Kimberly Ann has a great question, but how do you differentiate intuition versus anxiety or trauma? That's a really great question. So intuition feels like a knowing, and trauma feels like a what if it's this? What if it's that? Trauma feels like questions about what ifs. That's usually well, let me clarify. That was my experience with anxiety and trauma. That's how it showed up for me. That's how it shows up for everyone. Now, not for everyone, for many people. Everyone is different. So your own anxiety triggers might be different. So that's where it's important to get to know yourself and understand what triggers your anxiety so that you can understand what's not. Most importantly, when your intuition kicks in, it usually feels like a knowing. And even if you don't know all the facts and details, it's a knowing like something's not right. And in the beginning, it's a knowing. And then when the conscious brain kicks in, especially if you deal with anxiety or trauma or whatever, then it starts with all the questions. Well, maybe you're just doing this, and maybe you're just making this up. But when it first shows up, it feels like a knowing. It feels like a knowing before our brain kicks in and then sabotages our own intuition. But that's a really, really great question. Let's see. Yeah. M. Robbie says, yes, the skepticism is deep after years of sitting in that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So if you've got questions about that, Oh, Janai, this is a really great question. She said, I'm dealing with this with a supervisor. Although I'm aware of it, how would you suggest handling it in a professional work environment? Ooh, that's tricky, 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 tricky. So the first thing that I would do is state the facts about what you observed. Say, I observed this behavior, or I observed this situation, or I observed this. When you start with what I observed and then you follow it with I experienced this as, no one can argue with what your experience is. They may disagree with you, but they can't say that that's not what you felt and experienced. So I observed when you're stating what you saw, and then I experienced it as, or I felt this when I observed that. I would start there. There's a reason why I'm self-employed and not working with an employer, because I just don't have a lot of tolerance for that. I've been in workplace bullying situations, woo, and it's really difficult. It is. My heart goes out to you, Janai, but I would start with trusting what you know and say, this is what I observed. And if there is someone else in the workplace that might be supportive, maybe even an HR person, I might consider sharing with that person and asking for their support. So there's something there for that. All right. So let's see what this questions here. Oh, Alicia, this is, yes, had a reading and told you have trust issues, and never dawned on you that it was talking about you not trusting yourself. Yes, I wanted to talk about that. So that's a great segue, because a lot of times we think that we can't attract a person, or we can't find a decent person, or we have issues attracting relationship, or we're in relationship and we feel like it's out of balance, right? And I would first start with, how do we trust ourselves? A lot of times we won't even speak up about what we're feeling, what we're experiencing, because we're afraid that we're going to push the other person away and make them not like us by speaking our truth. And if we speak our truth in a way that honors our own selves and honors the other person, if you are in a situation where you are fearing speaking truthfully about what you're experiencing, you're probably in a relationship that is out of balance. In a healthy relationship, there is room for you to share your feelings, your observations, your experiences. And even if the other person disagrees, you should still feel safe enough to share it, especially if you're in an established relationship. That trust takes time, but a lot of times we are so not trusting of the big picture that if I upset this person, if I say something or do something that displeases them, they're going to leave and there's nobody else out there for me. And so a lot of times when we're in relationship communications, we're coming from that mindset and that hurt heart chakra of lack of, there isn't enough love for me, so I better hold on to this, and I better not provoke them into not liking me, because if they don't like me, then what am I going to do? And I can't find anybody else because there are not enough good partners out there. Now, recognizing that kind of thinking, where all of that lack is showing up, and how that then contributes to us not trusting ourselves, because then we become performing for the other person. I want to perform like somebody you would like, instead of I want and need to be me. And I trust that the right person for me is going to honor who I am and what my experiences are, even if their experience is different, and even if they disagree. Okay. So I think that trusting first begins with you, and you can learn how to trust another person while you are also learning how to trust yourself. It's not mutually exclusive, but when you trust yourself, it's so much easier to recognize who is healthy for you, who is enjoyable to you, than when you're not in a place of trusting yourself. And also trusting spirit. You don't even have to trust the other person. Trust yourself and trust spirit to recognize and discern healthy versus unhealthy situations. Now, sometimes our own disappointments and experience can create a lens that we view everything as not worthy of trust. There's nothing out there that's worth trusting. There's no one out there worth trusting. And that is an experience, but that is not the universal truth, that there aren't any trustworthy people in the world who are single, eligible, or whatever. Okay. So Kimberly Ann, I want to try to pull your comment on the screen. It says, I've been told I'm too sensitive many times. I haven't expressed my hurts because I'm being too sensitive. So my suggestion to you, Kimberly, is that if you're being told you're too sensitive, that is a form of gaslighting because you feel what you feel. That it isn't that you're too sensitive, it's that you're in situations with people who are not ready for you and not ready for the kind of relationship you want, and probably have not done enough work with themselves so that they are not bothered by your level of sensitivity, and in fact would actually see that as a really beautiful gift. Look how deeply she feels. Look how in touch she is with her emotions. How beautiful that is, that she's in her heart space that deeply. And how can I be gentle with her heart? That's what a healthy partner, a compatible partner would say in those situations, not, oh, you're being too sensitive. When someone says you're being too sensitive, they're saying, I am uncomfortable with your level of emotional engagement. That has nothing to do with you. That's all about them and their unresolved issues, and also some feelings perhaps of inadequacy that, uh-oh, she's feeling something, therefore I'm not good enough, or it's bothering me. Or sometimes people who are repressing their own emotions don't like it when other people in their presence feel emotions, because it reminds them that they have emotions that they don't want to feel. Okay, so this is not you, Kimberly Ann. This is not you. You're not the problem here. So keep being your beautiful, sensitive self. You feel what you feel and own that. And don't be apologetic for it. And don't enter into relationships as if this is some default that you got to fix. It's not. This is how you were beautifully made. You were beautifully made to be a sensitive, caring, compassionate person who feels really deeply. And that's not a bad thing. So, yeah, thank you for that. Now, Melissa said now possibly emotionally unavailable. I didn't see the first part of your comment. But yeah, emotional unavailability can also show up here, where if someone is interested in you and there isn't any valid reason that you feel I shouldn't engage with this person, but you're running, or you have walls all the way up, yeah, that's on us to own. That is on us to own. So the trusting and the vulnerability has to be paired with discernment. And when we're not discerning, we get into relationships and situationships and entanglements that hurt us. And then we want to then say, all people are this way, or I can't trust anyone, or it isn't safe to trust anyone. But that had a lot to do with our discernment and our not listening into intuition, because how many times have we ended up in a situation that was painful, and it was exactly because we had ignored what we saw and felt earlier, because we wanted so bad for it to work out that we ignored our better judgment. We ignored our intuition that was saying, I don't know about this, something not right. Or, ooh, did you hear when he said that? He's really got some issues around some anger management, or some issues around projection onto me. How does that make me feel? That doesn't feel good. Now, this doesn't mean we're looking for perfect people, but we are looking for people who own their shit. So that they can be in a healthy dynamic and they're accountable for their own growth, and not putting it on you that you are the source of their happiness and unhappiness. Because if you're the source of someone's happiness, you're also the source of their unhappiness. And if you take credit for making them happy, you also take credit for making them unhappy. So you're responsible for your own emotions, and they're responsible for their own emotions. You can add to the environment that supports their happiness, and vice versa. If someone makes us happy, they can also make us unhappy. That is the beginning of us giving our power away, that another person is responsible for whether we are joyful or not. That is, and that shows up in relationships. So I am, let's see, gonna take a couple questions. Not doing readings yet, but I'm gonna take a couple questions. Do you have questions about relationships and intuition? Oh, Melissa said that was in response to Kimberly Ann's question from a learned experience. Okay, thank you for that. And Kimberly said that's a beautiful way to look at sensitivity. Thank you. You're welcome. Somebody needs to say it, because we're out here, we collectively are out here walking on eggshells, so worried about being our true self, and fear that our true self will push somebody away. If you being your true self pushes somebody away, good riddance, because that person is not for you. You don't want to be with someone who doesn't want you to be truly you. The person or people that you should be around are people who want you to be even more you and want to see more of the real you and experience more of the real you and are going to encourage more of the real true you, not tell you that you need to be some other way. And that doesn't also make them bad people. It just makes them incompatible, and you can bless them as you liberate them and free them to find someone who's a better match for them, and free yourself to find a better match for you. Okay, this isn't about right and wrong, but it's about compatibility, and alignment. I like that word even better, alignment. Okay. Let's see. And thank you for those who are blocking the trolls. This. Okay. So Sarah says this. Yes, what I'm experiencing is being accused for bringing the baggage from other relationships into this one. When my gut is telling me something and I bring it up to him, he will then make it seem like it's all in my head, even though the facts are right there. Okay. That is what sounds like gaslighting. When you have seen something and you're sharing it. Now, this is different than someone say, I experienced that differently, or I didn't experience it that way. That's a healthy difference in point of view. When someone says it's all in your head, you need to pay attention to that. Now, if you actually have a fear and you're the one doing the projecting, then you can at least say, what's making you say that? What makes you think that it's all in my head? Because this is how I'm experiencing that. So yeah, there's a fine line between bringing our trauma in versus actual gaslighting. But when you bring something up to another person and they say it's all in your head, to me, that's a red flag, because you can disagree with someone without negating their entire experience. And that goes not just for your partner, but for you. We can disagree with other people, and other people can disagree with us without negating our experience. And I think the red flag is in the you didn't experience that piece. That's a red flag to me, like a big waving red flag. Okay, it's not that I don't understand how you feel that way, or can you explain why you feel that way, or I experienced that differently. It's that didn't happen. Wasn't me. That's just you. It's all in your head. That's gaslighting. Okay. Let's see. Oh, mom is here. Hey, mom. Everybody say hi to my mom, Ifitayo. Teresa, you guys are both listening. And welcome, Piper from Florida. Again, if you're just joining us, first of all, do me a favor, hit the share button to let other people know that you're here, and then they can join the discussion, especially if you're on Facebook. I know that there are some people texting some people right now to say, hey, come join this discussion. Feel free to share the link so you can come in and join live on the broadcast. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take first I'm going to share this comment. Jennifer says, it sounds like me too. I had a therapist recommend a book called Facing Codependence, which was a game changer. So thank you for that recommendation, Jennifer. I haven't read the book, but thank you for sharing. Another great one on that topic is Codependent No More by Melody Beatty. Is an excellent one. Okay, so I'm going to take a handful of readings. If you've got a relationship question, or you just want to know what's going on in your love life, we're going to take a couple of those and do a little mini intuitive reading. Okay, let's do that. Let's see. And hello from Wisconsin, and hello from Pennsylvania, and hello from Virginia. While I'm waiting for people to type their question. Sometimes it takes a minute before it shows up. Marissa says, I'm finding that no matter where I work, I have to modify and assimilate and sometimes be the opposite of my true self. Okay, that might be great if you're in a temporary working situation, but you want to strive for and move towards, and I know you know this, Marissa, move towards owning your own energy so that you don't feel like you have to modify and assimilate, and you can be safe to be yourself. Okay. I'm going to start with let's see, Bella's got a question. I'd like to know when my man is coming, please. Oh, what a great question. That's what everybody wants to know. When is my person coming? All right, let's see what's going on with you, Bella. Everybody collectively just take a nice, deep, slow breath. Nice and deep and slow on the inhale, nice and deep and slow on the exhale. Let me move my little incense over here. Okay. Bella, so a couple questions, or a couple of things coming up. One is I'm seeing you leaving something behind. Like this is a situation or a mindset that you're transitioning into something. And when you do, that previous chapter of your life has ended and you're closing the door. Now, this significant relationship comes after you have made that decision. I don't know if you recently made it or you're in the process of making a decision of ending something, a situation, or even moving, right? The second piece is you have a tendency to attract people who are not actually looking for a relationship. So you go based on this attraction. And a lot of these people, I'm telling you, the men, because your grandmother, great grandmother is in my ear whispering, she's saying, you don't hear them when they actually say out their mouth hole, I don't want a relationship. I don't want a girlfriend. I don't want to get married. And you hear that and your brain twists it up and says, oh, he hasn't met the right person yet. And as soon as he gets to know me, he's going to want me. And here's what I want you to know. When a man says, I do not want a relationship, believe him. If he says he doesn't want to get married, believe him. Do not try to change his mind. Some men will lie about a lot of things. I have never encountered a man who lied about that. If they tell you they don't want a relationship, they don't want a relationship, and say, thank you for sharing that. And then you move on or you be friends. But you end up, what I'm feeling from you, Bella, is you end up forming an attachment, hoping that they're going to change their mind. So the first part about when is your man going to come is when you close the door on this energy leak of giving your energy to people who don't want the same kind of relationship that you want, meaning they're not interested in a committed monogamous relationship ultimately. They don't have to declare that on day one, but they will. What I'm actually hearing for you, that the men have said this verbally to you and you could not hear that. So hearing the truth of what someone is telling you, using your own intuition and not acting based on an ego attachment to a person that you want a particular outcome. So thank you for your question, Bella. Oh, by the way, there is somebody coming, but this is after you've made that shift. And also there's some kind of new job or new work opportunity coming for you as well. Okay, so good luck. Thank you. All right, let's see. Alicia says this reading is giving me life. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad. Okay, let's see. Now, you guys, today, right now, for this segment, I'm only taking relationship questions because people are here asking about their career, their job, their books, and all of that stuff. All right, let's see. Kiana, please tell me I made the right decision in leaving him. Will I find the person for me? All right, take a deep breath, Kiana. Oh, yes, love. You have made the right decision. You're looking at it as I left him, and what your angels tell me is you chose you. Okay, this isn't even about him. This is about your relationship with yourself. And it is absolutely okay to feel bad after making a hard decision, or not to feel bad, to feel sad after letting someone go. That doesn't mean that that's an indication that you needed to make a different choice. But it's like, okay, I'm sad about it. This is an ending. I had hoped for a different outcome and I feel sad. So you own the sadness and then you move on. So you made the right decision. And yes, you're going to find another person, or actually, your angels are whispering to me, you're not supposed to find another person. I want to be really clear. Your angels are telling me, Kiana, that they're supposed to find you. So if you find yourself being the pursuer, the aggressor, the looker, I am looking, I am searching, they're telling me you're already on the wrong track with that energy. If you're looking for a mate, if you just want some fun, you can look and you can find, but they want you to be more focused on you instead of, I like this guy. I want to be his everything. Does he like me? Will he like me? Will he ask me out again? Are we going to be in a relationship? All of those questions are going to lead you right to the wrong path. The better questions to ask yourself as you're interacting with someone, especially early on, is how do I feel? Do I feel good? Wonder who this person truly is. Wonder if they're a good match for me. How am I feeling so far? Are they consistent? Like, those are the questions you need to ask. Do I want to see this person again? That's the only, and when you first meet somebody, the only question you need to be asking is, did I have a good time? And do I want to see them again? If you are already after 3 text messages and maybe a date or a virtual date or whatever, talking about, I wonder if this is going to be my man. I wonder if this is my soulmate. I wonder if this is my twin flame. Then you're probably already shooting yourself in the foot, because you're in a place of over investing in someone that you don't even know yet. But for you, Kiana, yes, you are going to find another person, or better yet, another person's going to find you, and you are going to get married. I see a commitment and a wedding ring, and I see someone who is genuine and caring, who is looking for a relationship. Okay, and you've got to. Your angels are telling me that you've got a past around choosing controlling individuals. And so this is something for you to be aware of, that someone who wants you to do everything their way, to be something that you're not, is not right for you. So that's kind of something to pay attention to. All right. Thank you for your question, Kiana. Haley says, I found a man that has the same year cycle as me. I don't know what that means. I have a close bond with this person. What advice would you give me on how to move forward with our relationship? All right. Let's see what's going on with you, Haley, in this relationship. Ooh. Okay. This is a great question, because this applies to a lot of people on this broadcast, what I'm about to say. We start to assume that because I feel a close bond with this person, that they want to be in a relationship with me. And then we ask the question, how do I move it forward? This is all coming from the mindset of, if I don't make it happen, nothing is going to happen. So my suggestion to you, just in general, as far as managing your energy, I don't know if you can feel this, Haley, but from an energy standpoint, your heart and your innards, all your stuff is all the way projected out of your body and across the miles to where this person is. Your energy is way over there. And it almost looks like, well, this is a psychic cord, okay? And it looks almost like a tentacle that extends out of your body way across the miles to see what he's doing, to wonder what he's doing, to wonder what's going to happen. And I can tell you that, A, that's not a healthy dynamic for you, and B, whether he's aware of it or not, he can feel that. He can feel that you are all the way over there. And what that's going to naturally make him or any other person do is retreat. Okay. And again, you don't want to modify yourself in order to get a person, but this is about awareness of your own energy management. So just pull your energy back into your body. Take a deep breath. Can you feel that, Haley? Can you feel how your energy is all the way over where he is instead of in your body? So take a deep breath. Deep and slow on the inhale. Deep and slow on the exhale. Okay. Now, feel how your energy is not just here, but is projected way over there. And now call it back into your body. Almost like if you had a fishing rod and you cast the line and the line was way across the lake, and then you have to reel it back in, and you see the string reeling back. I want you to do that with your own energy, because Haley, your energy is all the way over where he is. Matter of fact, your energy is so big and across out of your body, across where he is, that you're not even giving him a chance to show you whether he's interested, because you've taken the initiative to say, if anything's going to happen between us, I have to be the one to make it happen. And that doesn't even give him a chance to show you what he's made of. So just scale it back a little bit. Focus on you, get back into your body. Now, you've also decided that because he has the same year cycle as you, that makes you a good match. So instead of looking at his behavior, like, is he consistent? Is he honorable? Is he respectful? Is he proactive? You're looking at all of these outside factors about, he's got the same year cycle as me, and now I've formed a close bond. None of that has anything to do with whether he is able and willing and ready to have a relationship with you. Now, let me turn into his energy real quick. He's interested, but you can't smother him into into a relationship. He's interested, but you can't smother him into a relationship. If you plant a seed and if you overwater it, that seed is not going to grow. And you are watering and watering and watering and watering because you want to make this happen. If you lean back a little bit, you'll find that he's actually interested. But you got to practice receiving and not just giving. Okay, Haley, thank you for your question. All right, let's see what's going on here. Ooh. All right. Tammy says, oh, it just scrolled off of my screen. All right, and don't be in here posting the same question over and over and over again. Just post it one time. Thank you. All right, Kendra says, I've been doing a lot of inner work over the past year, especially I want to be able to attract a great relationship. What's going on with that? All right, Kendra, let's see. Take a nice, deep, slow breath. Nice and deep and slow on the inhale, nice and deep and slow on the exhale. Ooh, Kendra, there is a relationship coming. I'm not exactly sure when, but I like this one. I like this. I like this energy between you and this person that's coming. One of the first things I like is I see joy on your face and I see joy that comes from within. That is a very attractive feature. Okay. When you are filling up your own cup and not depending on someone else to quote, make you happy, that actually ends up attracting more people who are already happy, right? So I also see you with this person that you're attracting. I see them as having done some of their own healing work. Like they've done some soul searching, they've done some healing of their own, and they're ready for a relationship. They're ready for a partnership. So for you, continue just to focus on you and to continue to find joy and to do joyful things and to pursue your passions. And this person is coming. I also see you're going to move to be with this person. Now, whether this is moving long distance or moving down the street because of a proposal or engagement or marriage, I see you leaving your residence as a result of this relationship. And this is a joyful occasion, okay? And there may even be some distance in the beginning. Like, I don't know if this is a long distance relationship or you meet this person and they travel a lot for work or something, but I see initially that there's some distance. This also could potentially have to do with the pandemic, where you all may not be spending a lot of physical time together in the beginning and are communicating over distance. But Kendra, I really like this relationship that's coming. So keep focusing on you and keep getting clear about the kind of relationship that you want to attract, not who you want to attract, but the kind of relationship you want to attract. So I'm going to actually pause because I want to talk about that for a minute. Thank you for your question, Kendra. One of the most unhelpful things that we can do is to focus solely as we wanted to attract a mate, or if we're in a relationship and we want our partner to be a certain way. One of the most unhelpful things we can do is to focus on not what qualities, but what characteristics we want in another person. I want a person who makes this money, is this tall, da 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 da. That's unhelpful because you can have those things and still not feel compatible. Instead, focus on you, because this is the part you have the control over, and what kind of experience do you want to create in your relationship life. So, for example, I want to feel excited that I'm spending time with this person. I want to feel excited that I am sharing my life with this person. I want to feel adored and loved and supported and cherished. I want to feel valued. I want to feel like we're building something. I want to feel like we're having the time of our lives. Focus on the experience that you want to have and not just what the other person looks like doing, what they are, all that stuff that you think that they're going to give you. Cultivate those feelings, and like attracts like. So focus on the experiences that you want to have. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to go back to that? I think I do. So, okay. So spirits tell me I wasn't as clear as I need to be about that. So for example, if you feel like I want someone tall, look at the why behind that. There's nothing wrong with being attracted to a certain height. That's your attraction. It's whatever. But look at what you think that's going to bring you. Is it that I want to feel physically attracted to a person, or is it that I want to feel protected because the person is taller than me? What is the feeling that you think their height is going to give you? Or what is the feeling that you think them having a good job and some money is going to give you? Is it the feeling of feeling supported? Is it the feeling of ease? Is it the feeling of abundance? So focus on what is the feeling that you think their characteristic is going to give you, because the characteristic is not the goal, it's the feeling that's the goal. What you want is the feeling. And then what's going to happen is you'll get the feeling and you won't care how you got it. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. All right, let's see. Let's see. Ooh, Madison says, do you answer pregnancy questions? You can ask me a pregnancy question. One of the first ways my intuition started showing up in my 20s in a really big way as it related to other people was fish dreams and pregnancy predictions. So ask your question, Madison. All right, let's see. Let's see. Amber says, I just started dating someone recently. And what does that say? Oh, I just started dating someone recently and I have been feeling strong feelings, strong connections right away towards him. And it scares me. Is this a person that I will be with long term? So first of all, you're way ahead of yourself because you're feeling attracted, and attraction is good. Attraction is a good thing. It says, I enjoy our connection. I feel good about myself when I'm around you. I like our connection. I like our interaction. I like this dynamic. So attraction is good. Now, jumping ahead to, are we creating a relationship because of these attractions? So first things first is get back in your body, because Amber, your energy is way outside of your body. Pull that back in. I like this guy, for you all to get to know each other. This may not be a forever connection, but this is a joyful learning experience if you allow it to be. So allowing yourself to feel attracted, don't make that feel scary for you. And if you feel scared, then you own that. It's like, okay, I'm feeling this level of attraction feels scary to me. Now, the other question is, the attraction itself is not the issue, but the attachment to the outcome. And then what if something goes wrong and we don't connect? That's what's feeling scary for you. Or feeling like, last time I felt this attracted, it didn't end up well for me. So I'm afraid that I'm losing control of this situation. And you're not ever going to be in control of a relationship. None of us are. We control ourselves. We don't control what happens, but you have to trust that no matter what happens, that you're going to be okay, even if it ends up to not be the guy. Okay. I do like him though. I like his vibe. I like that you guys have fun together. I feel like he's got a great sense of humor. And he's got kind of he's got some sex appeal and some swag to him, which you like that a lot. What I feel from him is that he is looking for a serious partner. Overall, that does not mean that he will not entertain himself with non-serious partners, but ultimately he's kind of looking like, I kind of want to settle down. I'm kind of looking for a relationship, or even more than just a relationship. He's ultimately looking. Now, do you value yourself, and do you bring that value into your interactions with him? And this isn't about proving anything to him, but are you performing for him in the hope that he will choose you? Because if you are, that's going to be problematic. That's going to be problematic for both of you. So come in valuing yourself and knowing that you have options, and he's one of your options, even if the other options haven't shown up yet. Walk with the knowing that you have options. Nobody is your last resort. Nobody is your only choice for hope. Nobody is your soulmate. Through thousands and thousands of readings with private clients, I have come to the very surprising revelation, y'all, that we have more than one soulmate walking around the face of the earth right now. I have yet to meet someone in a love karma reading who didn't have at least 8 soulmates walking around the face of the earth. And in this case, when I'm talking about soulmates, I'm talking about potential life partners who you would be absolutely joyful with forever. And so what happens is we meet somebody and we connect and we start to believe the story. I don't know where the story came from. I never felt this way before. So therefore, this is the only person that I can ever feel this level of joy and affection and connection with. And that thinking right there is what'll get you fucked up every time. Because then you start treating someone like nobody else can make me happy. First of all, they don't make you happy, but they add to your happiness. But most importantly, you're giving this person power to whether you have a happy life or not. If this person doesn't work out, whether by their choice, by your choice, or by a mutual choice, if you actually knew that there was at least 6 other people lined up in the universe for you, would you really be so pressed about I have to make this work? Would you really be so pressed about he has to want me, he has to like me, he has to respect me? You'd be like, you know what? Get to stepping because there's somebody else out there for me. Even though I had a reading with someone, a love karma reading with someone who was in her 60s, and we laughed with delight because she had at least a dozen people walking the face of the earth right now that she would be perfectly happy with for a lifetime. And that gave her the perspective and the courage that she was in the middle of leaving a relationship, but she was so worried that, and especially she felt at her age that she had such a small pool, or that there would be nobody else, and she felt like maybe I'm too old to start over. But hearing her spirit guides tell her that she had at least 12 others walking around who she would be delighted with, made her happy. Now, here's the thing about that: when you have all these other potential wonderful life partners walking the face of the earth, in an ideal world, we want them to all show up like in a pageant where we get to pick. We see all 12 or all 5 or all 9 or all 100 of them, and we get to pick from them. And that's not usually how it happens. They usually show up one at a time. And if you don't like that one, then the next one shows up. Now, not always right away, because sometimes you have to have learning experiences to be ready. We have to have learning experiences to be ready for the kind of relationship that we are begging God for. Because if that relationship showed up right now, how many of us would actually be ready? Like, is your wall still like 6 feet deep and 3 feet wide of concrete around your heart? So if that person showed up like right now, could they even penetrate that? So that's my 2 cents about that. All right. Melissa says, can we hang out? I love your energy. I see myself doing something just like this in my future. You go, girl. I love it. I love it. Okay. I want to take a YouTuber question. I'm seeing a lot of the Facebook people. Let's see. I want to see a YouTube question. Herself. What an interesting name. Will my next phase in life start when? Short answer. Right now. Right this second. Today. That's it. It's already started, but you have to let go of the idea of what you think it's going to look like and just embrace what is. Embrace what is. Herself, I feel like you've been through some stuff. Like you've been through a really rough season, and so you're eager to get this next season started, but are you able to be fully present to what has happened and what is happening right now and the lessons of it and finding the gratitude in it? I do feel like you are at the beginning of a new phase, and actually it's kind of overlapping because the old season hasn't fully ended and the new season has started, so it's a little bit of overlap in this transition. But absolutely, I do feel like you're in a new season, and especially in about 3 months, it's going to start to really feel like a new season. So what are we in now? February. So that's like May. In May, you're really going to feel some of the newness of it. It has already started, but there's still a lot of debris from the old season that needs to be cleansed out, and it's still on its way out. Okay, but you are in the new season already, and you're being asked to really get in touch with your feelings and honor your feelings, including the grief. Doesn't mean you have to stay in them and wallow in them, but honor your feelings versus trying to numb yourself or shut everything down. That's not helping you actually to move through to the next season. Thank you for your question. Oh, Madison said, will I be pregnant soon? That was your pregnancy question? I see a baby coming, a child coming, and the child says to me, what do you mean by soon? The child says, what does soon mean? So you feel some anxiousness around it hasn't happened yet, it hasn't happened yet, it hasn't happened yet. And the child feels that stress and tension around it in your body. So are you making your body a joyful welcome home for the baby that you want to live in your body for 9 months? The stress that you're feeling around it is is stored in your womb. And the child is like, I don't go in there, it looks stressful in there. But I do see a baby, actually. I see grandparents or great grandparents ancestors who have passed on. They are bouncing a baby on their leg and they're playing with the baby. So they're telling me that there's a baby and that you have to trust. I also wonder, do you have a dog or did you have a dog? There's some kind of special connection between the baby that's coming and a dog in the family or a dog that's coming in the family. Um, there's some kind of connection between the baby and the dog, or will be a connection between the baby and the dog. So I can't tell you exactly when because this has to do with you and your energy. But I see, oh, girl, I see fish, swimming fish. When I see swimming fish, like live swimming fish, that is definitely a pregnancy. I see swimming fish. I see 1, 2, 3 fish. That doesn't mean 3 babies, but that's a really strong visual for me of a very big yes, that there is a baby coming. So just relax and ease into it. Ease into welcoming this pregnancy. Like if I told you that, oh, the baby's not coming for another 18 months and this is the date, I'm not saying that that's true. Would you then just relax knowing that, oh, well, there's a date, so I can just relax because it's coming? Well, okay, we'll get into that relax because it's coming feeling anyway. Just relax and be gentle with your body and yourself. Thank you. Oh, Madison says you have a few dogs. Yeah. Yeah, there's this baby that's coming has a special connection with dogs or a dog. They're going to be like inseparable. Okay. So one dog in particular is going to be like, that's my sibling. And they're going to be like freaking frack, the baby and the dog. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Leonie says, yeah, making our wombs a joyful place for our babies. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Is there any way you can tell me of a month? Okay, Madison, did you hear what I said? I can't tell you a month because it has to do with you. Are you making this womb home a happy, healthy, joyful? And I don't just mean physically, I mean energetically for the baby. That's not within my control, that's within your control. So you can answer your own question, like how much resistance do I have to the idea of when this baby is coming? That is being stored in your womb and the baby can feel it. So if you can ease out and just breathe, do more deep breathing on a daily basis, breathe because your spirit needs that moving oxygen and that calm energy. And trust. I trust the divine timing of my life. I trust the divine way that my life is unfolding. I trust my motherhood journey and the divine timing of it. Just keep affirming that the baby is coming. I saw the fish, girl, the baby coming. Okay, she said, okay, thank you, you're welcome. Melissa's giving you some advice too. Melissa says surrender. Okay. Well done. All right, so I'm gonna switch gears for a moment. I want to talk about a common question that I get about going back to the idea of soulmates. So a soulmate isn't always a life partner or spouse. The way that I define soulmates is that this is someone that you have a soul contract with for a big soul lesson in your lifetime. Sometimes this is a mate, sometimes not. Sometimes the soulmate is the one that comes to help you address your stuff and help you bring your stuff up to the surface to get healed so that you then can move on to really meet a really compatible person. Sometimes someone that we feel very drawn to but don't feel satisfied in the relationship is an old past life connection coming back for you to release the pattern. So that is a lot of times a life lesson. Doesn't have to be a soulmate. Somebody may have come to teach you how to love yourself, and the way, because that was your soul contract, is I'm going to help you learn to love yourself. And then the way that they did it was a way that was hurtful to you and made you say, oh, I didn't love myself and that's why I allowed this. And then their job is complete and then they're gone. Just because somebody wants to keep coming back doesn't mean it's meant to be. So if you're saying, well, if it wasn't meant to be, why this person keeps showing up? That has everything to do with your boundaries and nothing to do with whether it's meant to be. Because if your door is open and you keep saying why they keep, and you put some food out there, well, okay, let's say you put some food out for some stray cats and you leave the door open and the food is in the doorway and the cats keep showing up and you're like, why these cats keep coming? Because you keep feeding them. Well, how do I get rid of the cats? If they keep showing up, it must be meant to be. Or you could just take the food away and shut the door. You could do that, right? Okay. So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Like I said, there's always trolls that show up. If the words psychic reading show up in the title of a live stream, there are trolls, both real people and robots, that show up and try to play the people in the audience and DM them for a reading. And I have the spell. If you see that, just report it. Click report and click spam, and it will go away. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Iman, for reporting all the comments. Okay. I'm looking at the questions. Sometimes there's a little pause before they show up. Regina says, I've been in my singleness period for 6 years, and yesterday was my 6th anniversary of my divorce. Is the man God or spirit has for me coming soon? Not if you keep counting the days that you are single. You're still so focused on the absence of a person. I'm going to count how many days that my magic person has been absent from my life. I'm going to count the days, the months, the years. I'm going to have memorials to it. Not to say that that it's not necessary to celebrate your liberation from a relationship that didn't work out. But the energy of how you even ask the question is like, I am counting the days and I am just waiting and counting. How about counting the interactions that feel good with any male person, whether they're dating or not, whether they're single or not, but just, I know how to feel light and easy around men. How about counting those? How about I smiled at 6 people today instead of counting how many days have passed since your divorce? I made eye contact with six living male people today. A man held a door open for me today. You don't have to make it into a relationship, but it starts to open your heart. When what you pay attention to is what you're going to attract. What you praise is what's going to grow. And right now you've built a monument to your singleness and to the post-divorce life. That it does not invalidate the difficulty of the journey that you went through in order to go through the marriage and the divorce and the post-divorce period. But have you built a monument that's all you can see, is all you can talk about, is defining yourself by what happened more than 6 years ago and counting the days since that event? All of that says I am focused on what did not work and who I have left behind. That even in my singleness, I'm defining it by the absence of that partner that I divorced or who divorced me or whatever. Bring it into the present and focus. It doesn't mean ignore how you feel, but feel it and release it, and then make an intentional choice to focus on something else that is conducive. Yes, I feel sad. Yes, I felt lonely in this period, this season of singleness. So even how you defining the season, this is a season of singleness. Instead of, you didn't define it as a single of loving myself, a season of loving myself. It's a season of singleness. Everything that you're saying, your whole energy is revolving around the lack of something, the absence of something, instead of what is present, and celebrating, praising, glorifying what is present, the love you have in your life, the harmonious relationships you have in your life, whether they are male or not, whether they are single or not, but the harmony that you feel in relationships. Affirm it. So shift your energy and what you're paying attention to. That doesn't mean that you don't feel lonely and acknowledge the pain of that, but the loneliness is only there to say, in my heart of hearts, I really want to share my life with someone. And so you start there. Okay, I acknowledge that I really want to share my life with someone. And as I am learning how to enjoy my life. I am without a partner. I am learning how to enjoy my life, whether there's a partner in it or not. I am learning how to be open to a new partner. I am getting ready to get ready for a partner, because even in the language, you may not be ready yet, but I'm ready to get ready. I love that expression. I borrowed that from the Abraham Hicks videos. I'm ready to be ready. I may not be ready today, but I'm ready to be ready. I'm getting ready to be ready. Does that make sense? All right, thank you for that. Let's see. Hold on, I'm pulling up a question. Doo, doo, doo. By the way, don't forget to hit the share button. Thank you. Angela says, hi, Angela. I feel like I was put on earth to mother, but I believe I'm done having children. Is it time to focus on a career? I've never focused on anything other than being a mom. Is a grandmother trying to tell me this? Honey, trust what you know. You already have the answer. That one of your purposes was to mother, but it was never the only purpose. It may have been a focus for a season, but your purpose for being isn't defined by other people, be they children, parents, spouse, mate, or friends. Your purpose for being has everything to do with finding your joy. And if you find joy through motherhood, that is great. But you already know the answer that it is time, because if you were fully joyful with that being the only thing, you wouldn't even be asking the question. So you already have answered your own question. Yes, it's time, but don't focus so much to, is it time to focus on career? That sounds so duty bound. How about asking the question of yourself, what feels joyful for me? What feels the most joyful for me right now? What do I like doing the most? What am I curious about? Like, ask those kind of questions. What's possible? Rather than, must I find a career? If you take that same energy into finding a career, you're going to end up in a career that feels like an obligation and doesn't feel like, oh my God, I love doing this so much. They're paying me to do this. Oh my God, I would do this for free. Don't tell them. How about that? Do you feel the difference in the energy? I must find a career. I must define myself. Or versus, oh my God, you mean I get to do this? I get to do this like every day and people are going to pay me? Shift the energy and start to ask the questions of yourself. What feels joyful? How can it get even better than this? What else is possible? A lot of times the answers and the insights evade us or appear to evade us because the question that we're focused on is pointing in a direction that's not going to lead us anywhere. And if we formulate good questions, we're going to get really good answers. If the question is it time to focus on a career? You're going to get a question that says the time will now be 9 a.m. and you should focus on your career then. And then at 9:05 a.m., you'll be like, oh my God, this feels like watching paint dry. This isn't fun. This doesn't feel enjoyable. Okay, so change the nature of your questions and you're going to get a better answer. And also the question about, is a grandmother telling you, you know your grandmother better than I do. And you know your grandmother's energy. You can recognize your grandmother's energy. So you're asking me, which I don't mind, but I want you to recognize that what you're asking me for is not insight, but you're asking for validation of stuff you already know, which says that you are capable of knowing, which says that your intuition is working, which says that your intuition is working, but you're not trusting it yet, and that's okay. But just say, I'm ready to start trusting my intuition, or every day I trust my intuition more and more. My intuition is telling me that my grandmother is around me and she is giving me this feeling, okay? So speaking of grandmother, yes, she's around you. Yes, she's saying unchain yourself, unshackle yourself. And I don't know if she means from a situation, a person, or a mindset that's keeping you in a box, but she's telling me to tell you to unshackle yourself. She literally showed me a visual of some iron shackles, which that's like a really super strong, oppressive kind of visual. She's saying unshackle yourself and you have the key. So thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Oh, I'm glad you got it. Yes, follow your joy, not looking for duty. Because do you want another duty or do you want a life that just feels like so joyful? So joyful. Like, okay, like case in point. I love talking to y'all about intuitive stuff and I love doing readings. And it feels joyful to me most of the time. And when it doesn't, it usually has nothing to do with you all. It has to do with my energy management. So I don't ask, oh my God, is it time for me to do readings? It's like, oh my God, what feels good? It would feel so good to be doing some readings right now, both one-on-ones and on Facebook and YouTube and live stream or wherever else this video is showing up. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I am going to, what time is it? We have been going for quite a minute. You know, I just be losing track of time. Okay, I want this to be a teachable moment. Something that you are meant to do you often realize it because when you're doing it or studying it or moving towards doing it, you're so present to it that you lose track of time when you're doing it. I thought I was talking to y'all for 45 minutes and I'm looking at the clock. We've been on for at least an hour, right? Because I'm losing track of the time because this is fun to me. Like talking about this stuff, this is fun to me. Okay. Let's see. Oh Lord, the spammers and the trolls are like in full force today on Facebook. Half of these comments I see are spam. Anyway, I have a question. From what you all have heard today, of the different things that we talked about with relationships and the readings that you've heard me give to other people, what's your takeaway for today so far? What is your takeaway? What is your aha moment from today? What nugget of insight, or even not insight, but just inspiration? What resonated with you today? What's your takeaway? Jeannie says, I love listening to you and your advice. Thank you. Bella says her takeaway is trust intuition. Yes. Kimberly says hers is trust intuition and that my sensitivity is not a burden. Takeaway. Crystal says trust my intuition and change the perspective of the questions that I'm asking. Tammy says self-love. Anne says, oh, this is good. I want to just like put this in light. Pull your energy back into your body. Yes. Herself says her takeaway was reframing the question. Leah says focus on the positive blessings in my life. These are great, you guys. Sarah says trust my intuition. Malika says trust my intuition. Angela says focus on your joy. Yeah, I'm glad you heard that. Jermaine, hi Jermaine. My takeaway is that I attract. I didn't see it roll right off the screen so fast. Tara says trusting my intuition. Oh, Christy, this is juicy. She says that the people she's been attracting have been teaching her how to love herself. Portia says, my takeaway is the self-work I've been doing is spot on. Congratulations for that insight. Portia, I want to give something to you. Your angels, your guides. You have a lot of guides. People guides, angel guides, ancestor guides, animal guides. They're showing a butterfly and you are floating right into a new situation, a new awareness. I see butterflies and birds specifically around me right now. They're all flying creatures. Keep going. There's a new opportunity coming for you. Okay, I want you to not worry because there's a new opportunity coming for you. You're birthing something new. And part of what you might be doing is also helping other people or training other people in working with animals or teaching some kind of class or workshop or helping others connect with animals or doing animal readings or animal communication or doing something with people with animal similar. There's day job stuff, but then there's something else opening up for you, Portia, that is requiring you to use some of your gifts in a different way and directly with people. So thank you for letting me share that. Sabrina says her takeaway is to focus on how you want to feel in a relationship when searching for a partner. Yeah, I want to give some more on that. So let's do a little brainstorming together, shall we? If you've got a pen and paper nearby, I mean, this is spontaneous coaching. I can't help it. I'm a teacher and a coach. I can't help it. So I want you to do some brainstorming. How do I want to feel in a relationship? Not what is the other person doing, but how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel in a relationship? I'm gonna give you some examples, but this doesn't have to be true for you. I'm just gonna free talk here. I want to feel loved and supported. I want to feel valued. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel like I got it going on. I want to feel desire when I am around my partner. I want to feel desire. I want to feel attraction. I want to feel excitement. I want to feel knowing. I want to feel calm. I want to feel excited but grounded. I want to feel cherished. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel delighted. One of the things I've been saying with one of my friends who had came to visit from the States here in Barbados was, we are normalizing surprises and delights. Me and Ramona kept saying, we are normalizing surprises and delights. And the most miraculous things started happening like on a daily basis. She was, we were only able to spend about a week together, but like every day there were these miracles happening. And by 11 a.m., we're like, but it's just 11 a.m. What other miracles can happen today? And the more we focus on the miracles that were showing up, the more miracles started showing up. It's like you get momentum on any topic, it's going to gain, more strength. And the universe, the law of attraction doesn't care whether that strength is going in a way that feels good to you or not. So whatever you're focused on is growing. So I say this back to say that a takeaway is how you want to feel in a relationship. You want to feel surprised and delighted, because even as you're speaking into existence what you want to create for yourself, that doesn't mean that you're limiting that, and God is not going, and spirit is not going to bring you more than just what you asked for. But that's the starting point. I want to feel so great. I want to just feel alive, and I want to feel connected, and I want depth. How about that? I want depth in my relationship. I want to feel a really deep connection, not just a surface connection. I want to feel a deep connection. And sometimes sometimes what you don't want helps you to frame and articulate what you do want. Like, I don't want that struggle love. I want love that feels enduring and abundant and fulfilling. I don't want nobody that's gonna cheat. I want someone who wants the same kind of relationship I want. I want to feel like we're in alignment around our values, around commitment and monogamy and honor and integrity and honesty. So you can take what you don't want, which is fine, and acknowledge that and use that to flip it and say what you do want. Because we're always talking about, I don't want this, I don't want that, but what do you actually want? Like, how do you want to feel? Okay. So yes. Nicole says, I am normalizing surprise and delight. Hey girl, how you doing? She's such an awesome person. I love Nicole. She's on here as Elisa Nicole, but Elisa Nicole Jackson, she's Nicole Jackson. She's a marvelous person, a beautiful Qigong instructor, a beautiful Reiki master, and a health coach. And she's just, I love her. Follow her, please. Follow her. Let's see. Marissa says, I want a like-minded partner. I bet you do, but you know what else, Marissa? I bet you want a like-hearted one. You don't want somebody who just thinks like you, but you want someone who is present in their heart and passionate. You are so passionate, Marissa. You want someone who is compatible with and complementary to your passion. Let's see. Vivian, all right. I want to feel peace, adventurous, free, pampered, and sexy. Yes, for clarity. That's what I'm talking about. How do you want to feel? Yes. Is it Deanie or Danae? Danae says, I love you. I love this. I love you too. Zareda says, I want someone who's aligned with peace, joy, and self-awareness. Okay, let's flip that, because you're saying you want someone who is these things. You don't have any control with what they're aligned with. You have control over what you're aligned with. And when you are aligned with peace, joy, and self-awareness, you're going to call into your life someone who's aligned with peace, joy, and awareness, self-awareness. So focus on, what do you want? How do you want to feel? So maybe the feeling is, I want us to feel compatible. I want us to feel aligned. I want us to feel, that common ground, real common ground in a deep and meaningful way. Cece says, the energy here is amazing. Thank you for saying that, because my people are awesome. And when they come, they bring this beautiful energy, and they bring their questions, they bring their problems, they bring their issues, but they bring their connection to the solutions, the connection to the insights, the openness to new awareness, and the joy. Like, the people who come here to these live streams, or people who I have in my circle, are just like awesome. And so thank you for Cece for acknowledging that, because you also have that, or else you wouldn't even been here today. However you got here, it wouldn't have resonated with you. You'd have been like, these people too damn happy for me, and you would have bounced. But we are intentionally joyful, even as we're working through our shit, right? We keep it real in here, and I'm honored that you saw that. Thank you. Kimberly says, I want to feel blessed in my relationship. Vanessa says, I want to feel aligned, excitement, friendship, and love. Yes. I want to feel like I'm with my best friend. That might be true for you. And here's the thing, the things that I'm just throwing out there, if they're not true for you, don't pay them no mind. Just take the ones that are true for you and add to it. And then you're going to be creating not just a vision for yourself, but the energy that attracts that into your life. And you also have to be open enough that it may show up in different ways than you were expecting. Like you might just, your clarity is going to call forth what you desire. And if the person you're with is not in alignment with that, your clarity might call them right on out your life. So just be real. You're asking for change. Be ready for change and be ready for the way that the blessings show up. Sometimes spirit got to remove something that you're holding on to in order to give you something better. And then we get so upset when something gets removed, when we asked for the better thing, right? Yes. Angela says, I want to learn my passion and joy again. I feel lost. Thank you for pushing me on it. Yes. Feeling lost is okay. You don't stay lost, but just acknowledging I feel lost is really a better question. It's like, okay, how do I create a feeling of this is where I belong, whether it is a thing or a physical place or a relationship or just a way of being. Acknowledging how we feel in this moment is only just to tell you there's something else that you want. You want something bigger, and that is perfectly okay. All good shit starts with some bad shit. Well, what I'm trying to say is the feeling of having and the experience that you want and having the life that you want often starts with the seed of dissatisfaction and discomfort. Like I didn't end up living in Barbados just by accident. I had to go through some discomfort to say, you know what, this is not what I want. And now I'm out here like living my best life. We're in a lockdown right now. It's called a national pause for like 2 weeks. So even in a lockdown, I'm still joyful. Let's see. Alicia says, I want to feel peace, security, excitement, valued, and spiritually aligned. Yes. M says, I realize I have so much more work to do. Well, that's an interesting perspective. Certainly, there's things that you want to work on and that you have some goals in mind about what you want to create for yourself. But the idea that, I have to work for it is part of the thing that keeps you stuck. It's not about forcing, but it's about allowing and releasing. What resistance do you have? Resistance doesn't always show up as I am. Resistance shows up as, I can't do that. Or that's not practical. That's how resistance shows up. Or who am I to do that? So it's about releasing all the things that are not you. It's not even about doing the work. It's about releasing all the shit that you've picked up along the way. Okay, and just release a little bit here, release a little bit there, release a little bit there. And next thing you know, you'll be feeling good. Let's see. She said, wait, I missed that you're in Barbados. Girl, I've been in Barbados for 3 months. I got 3 more months to go, and I'm probably going to come home back to Washington, D.C. for a month, like in May, and then I'm probably coming right back to Barbados. Right now, I'm really joyful here, and it feels like this is where I need to be. But, my life is a beautiful adventure, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing 6 months from now. I know what I'll be doing. I just don't know from where. Probably from here. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook page the other day. So I've been feeling for a long time. Right now we're just talking. I thought I was about to wrap up this live stream, but we just gonna chill and keep talking for a minute. And for a long time, many years, I know that there are books inside of me that need to come out, and I had some fear about writing publicly. And even though my degree is in journalism and I ghost wrote for many corporations for lots and lots of money and created content for them, and I write on Facebook, but actually publishing, printing, I had some stuff I had to work through. So my dear sister friend asked me the other day, hey, have you started working on that book yet? And I was like, and you know what I did? I sat right down. I typed it on my phone. I said, I'm not ready to write the book today, but I am ready to write the most important part of the book, which is the inside back cover of the book jacket, the little bio. So I am going to read to you what I wrote. Let me see, what does it say? Bear with me because I got to pull it up on my phone. What did I actually write? So, and I encourage you to write your own bio, and it doesn't even have to be realistic. It doesn't have to be. It's what you want to, speak it into existence. Okay, hold tight. I'm pulling it up. Why is it not popping up on my phone so quickly? Okay, here we go. Okay, so I wrote my little short bio, and this is how it goes. Jamila White is a New York Times bestselling author, internationally acclaimed psychic, and leader in the self-love movement. She is a self-made multimillionaire beach goddess who is living her best effing life in Barbados and New Orleans with her loving and hilarious wealthy husband, Big Sexy. Okay, now some of that stuff has already happened. Like I lived in New Orleans, I'm living in Barbados. I would love to live in both, but some of that stuff is still in the works. I don't care. That's my bio. That's the story I'm telling myself. And what story are you telling yourself about who you are? If someone asked you to write your story, what would you write? Would you write about all the terrible things that have happened? That's part of your story. That's cool. But what are you creating with your words? And what are you creating with your thoughts? And what are you creating with your writing? What are you creating with the images that you create and you surround yourself with? What are you creating? So I'm intentional about what I create, and I'm open to surprises and delights by the universe by doing it a different way. But I'm put it out there. Okay, so Tammy says, "Have I met Big Sexy yet?" I don't know if I've met him yet, but if I have met him, I'm not aware of it yet. The question is, has he met me yet? That's the question. Oh, Latonda, thank you so much. You said, "I'm not surprised you're a writer. You have a very unique talent to make everything relatable and real." Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. All right, you guys. Okay, we're going to end this. I just want to thank you. I hate to end these live streams because they're just so much fun. I love talking with you guys. But I think I want to do a little bit more live streams a little more often than I have been because I love this so much. And so, wait, so I'm going to be doing more. Tammy says, "So when you meet him and he introduces himself as Big Sexy, is that a sign?" Well, he will have to still show me who he is, but that would get my attention if somebody introduced themselves to me as Big Sexy. That's funny. All right. Thank you, you guys. All right. I love you. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Okay, I got to do a shameless self plug. If I can help you with your love life or with anything else, hit me up. Schedule a one-on-one session on my website. My website address is, I can't pull it up. It's inspiredjamila.com. I'm trying to find it so I can put it on the screen. Oh, here it is, inspiredjamila.com. You can do an intuitive clarity session, which is like a general intuitive reading. Covers all kinds of topics. We can do that for a half an hour or an hour. If you want to do a deep dive into your relationship life, your heart chakra, your love karma, your relationship patterns and dynamics, both this lifetime, past lifetime, current relationship, all of that. Like if you want to do a deep dive, I also offer 1 hour specialty sessions called Love Karma Consultations. And that's when we're really focused on your love life. If you do a regular intuitive clarity session, we can still talk about your love life. But if you want to go like deep up into your love life, then I would definitely do a love karma session. And you can book that on my website, inspiredjamila.com. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. If you observe Valentine's Day, have a beautiful Valentine's Day, whether it's February 14th or not. Love yourself and know that you are worthy to be loved. You are absolutely lovable. You are worthy to be loved. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to do anything other than just breathe and be. And that alone makes you worthy, because worthiness and love is your birthright. It's not something that you have to earn or perform for. You are worthy to be loved just as you are, even as you're working on your shit. You are still lovable. And I love you. So I hope you have a good day. Peace, y'all.